Thanks for joining me on the Coach Couch for part 2 of my session with Monbulk Football Netball Club's Lucas Jurey. In part 1, Lucas talked about finding out he had cancer just before the beginning of the season. Also, he talked about his treatment and then, amazingly, how he continued to play for his beloved club. Let's pick up part 2 from there. What about that first game of footy after you've had treatment and you're out there, you're a full forward? What are you, just sitting there hoping the ball's going to come near you?
Yeah, I think got tagged in Facebook a couple of times. It was an AFL heat map, and it was just purely in the goal square. And I think I got tagged in that about 15 times. So I didn't leave.
Bother you?
No, not at all. Just didn't leave the goal square for a lot. I actually forgot there was actually anything outside the 50-metre arc for a while. So just sat in the goal square, and everyone was pretty happy. They were just happy to have you around, and no one was dirty on it or anything like that, not being training or anything. Everyone was happy just to have you out there. So yeah, it was a bit of fun just sitting there, but a bit of a shock when I halfway through the first game realised how much I actually didn't have in the tank. So.
And did you stay on?
I think I lasted to about 3/4 time, and then I was vomiting over the side fence for the next quarter, and then I called it quits after that.
I mean, to me, that's amazing, because when I first heard that, and as I said, you don't want this interview to be all about you, and you have mentioned before there's another gentleman at Monbulk that is having his own battle, and you wanted to have a chat about him, so go ahead.
Yeah, Christian Bluey Fraser, he's a long-time Monbulk man, footy club, cricket club, just in general, there's not many people in Monbulk that don't know about Bluey. Also, he teaches up at Jembrook Primary School as well. He's been diagnosed with a very similar cancer to what I have, a non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. He's been battling it for well over 12 months now. Hasn't been responding to treatment. He's got 2 young kids and a wife. Again, just makes you realise how lucky some of us are. And we're currently raising funds for him to head over to America and have potentially life-saving sort of treatment. He's going to be heading over there soon, but it's not funded by the Australian government for people his age.
When you say his age?
So he'd be in his 40s, Bluey.
So if you're younger, it's sponsored, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct. So if you're under 25 years old, it's funded by the government. Lymphoma is typically a younger sort of person's cancer around my age. But for anyone over 25, it's not funded.
Wow. Obviously, there's a lot of a GoFundMe page for him, isn't
there? Yep. So we'll have that. That's all over our Facebook and our Instagram. So if anyone is interested, have a read of Bluey's story. It's on the GoFundMe page, and any contributions would be more than welcome. He's a great fella and really loved around the Monbulk community and the Jembrook community as well.
Lucas, just tell us a little bit about your background. You're from around the outer eastern suburbs of Melbourne?
Yep, so from Ringwood. Grew up in Ringwood, played footy down here for pretty much my whole life, and been up at Monbulk for about 5 years now.
Obviously, when you were playing footy, it was the last thing on your mind that anything like this might happen?
I think anyone under the age of any male under the age of 30 is invincible, aren't they? Nothing's ever going to happen to me. I'm not going to. Don't have to worry about it. I've been a smoker and a drinker and all that sort of stuff. Looking back on it, probably makes you think probably not the healthiest lifestyle, but yeah, again, it's not something you ever think's going to happen to you until it actually does.
Now, don't take this the wrong way. I can smell some smoke on your breath, so you're still smoking, mate. So what's the go with that?
Yeah, that was through the treatment. I actually got told by my oncologist through the treatment, keep going, keeps the stress levels down, settles the guts a bit. Actually booked into hypnotherapy next week, so I'll be trying to give those up as soon as possible. Cut me down to probably 1 or 2 a day, but got a bit nervous. Went for the big fella coach to come around and do the interview, so I had to settle the nerves a little bit.
Well, you're doing a fantastic job. Look, we'll wrap it up, because I know you've got a pretty busy lifestyle. You're working, obviously, and you're still doing radiation. Finished?
All done. Yeah, got the all clear last week. So yeah, in remission as of last week.
Great, that's fantastic news. So the process is testing every couple of months, is it?
Every month for the first year, 3 months for the next 4, and then 6 monthly after that.
Lucas, thanks for joining us on the Coach Couch, or some people like to say Coach's Couch. I'm not quite sure whether I like Coach Couch or Coach's Couch, but it's a couch. We're sitting on a couch. You're the first test subject, and I couldn't think of anybody better to be talking to. Now, I get asked all the time, what's your advice to be, I don't know, to make it in the media? What's your advice to get on radio? What's your advice to be in front of a camera? What do you do? You know, what's it like to make it? And my advice back to them is, well, I'll tell you when I get there, because it's always a battle. That's just a career battle. But with a health battle, what's your advice to people that might all of a sudden, and there'll be lots of thousands of people listening to this, that all of a sudden have this thrust upon them like you?
Just to fight like hell. Surround yourself with good people, because that's probably the biggest blessing I've had is good people around me. Fight your ass off and just stay positive the whole way through. There's not much you can do in terms of the result, but that is the end goal, is to be all clear. If it doesn't work out that way, that they're the cards you dealt, you just got to play them. It sounds bad, but if you're not going to enjoy what you've got and what you're going through at the same time, you're never going to enjoy any of the rest of your life if it ends up beating you, so you may as well enjoy what you've got while you've got it.
That's great advice to people that might be going through what you're going through. What about people who haven't got any illness? What's your advice to them? Because it could happen to you, or enjoy every day and wake up every day as a gift. All those sort of lines that are all a bit corny, but they actually mean something to you now.
Absolutely, and much the same advice. If you've got something you want in life, or you've got a goal in life, fight like hell to get it, because if you don't, you're never going to reach it. And surround yourself with really good people around you, because they make the fight a hell of a lot easier. Support you along the way. They'll pick you up when you're down. They'll boost you up when you're up. It's all about the people in the community you've got around you, and I think that's a lot to be said about your family, your friends, and especially local footy clubs. I think at times they cop a little bit of a bad rap for being a bit of a boys' club and all that sort of stuff, but I can't stress enough how important it was to me and how much it helped me.
It's the mental side as well. I know I said that was the last question, but something's just popped into my mind. I haven't touched on this. You're the coach of the Monbulk women's footy team. The thing I've noticed, especially with the female team, is there's some girls there that don't normally play sport or wouldn't normally play sport, but they are now playing sport because they're part of that team. It's that comradeship, if you like, camaraderie and all the rest. Do you see that as a coach? Do you think it's mental health is one of the great benefits from playing footy in a team environment is to keep your brain thinking positive?
Absolutely, it's absolutely the biggest thing is to have those people around you. And we've got girls now in our team who've got one or two friends outside of footy that they see, and that's about it. And they've now made 20 new friends. They all go out together. They all eat dinner together. It's just opened up a whole new world to them, and just seeing how much it means to them, it makes you really realise how much this is, or how good of a thing we've got. Not only at our club, but every club going around there. I'm sure they're all the same. But just community's the biggest thing. Surrounding yourself with good people is such an important thing in life, and I think you can probably fight pretty much anything if you've got the right people to help you fight it.
Great answer, Lucas. You're truly amazing, man. I know you're pretty embarrassed with me saying that, but I'm very, very impressed. I knew as soon as I saw you, I thought I've got to talk to this guy, but I did chase you a little bit, but I said you've got to be careful. I've got to be careful that this is something you wanted to do, and we didn't just make it about your illness. We made it about the positive sides as well. How about the girls? What sort of influence have they been on you as the coach in the battle that you've been going through?
Only last week I sent a message out to all the girls. Probably enjoyed doing that more than I've enjoyed playing football. Coaching the girls team is one of the best things I've ever done. Again, seeing how much it means to them, and sort of just makes you think, as a 15, 16-year-old bloke, imagine if someone turned around to me and said, you can't play footy because you're a bloke. We haven't got a team for you, you're not allowed to do it. And these girls have gone through that, and I never really gave that much of a thought before this. And now looking back on it, it's a bit embarrassing to say that we were part of that sort of era.
I'm from that older culture, and I did not like female footy at all, but I just see the benefits, physically and mentally, that it's given the female.
Oh, absolutely, and I'll make jokes with the girls every now and then, but they'll know that I call myself a feminist now. Just seeing how I never realised how much it was oppressive, and never really thought about it. But it's an oppressive sort of thing that they went through that we've never had to deal with, and I've never thought about. So if anyone out there is hearing that, just have a think about if all this got taken away from you like it did with these girls, how would you feel?
Lucas, thanks so much for your time, mate. It's been great chatting. Thanks for being the guinea pig on the first Coach Couch, or Coach's Couch. Well, of course, we do have Coach's Conversations, but they're a little bit shorter. I wanted to do something a little bit in depth, and I couldn't think of anybody better to kick this off. Lucas, thanks so much for your time and for joining us on GameFace.
I really appreciate it, mate. Thanks for having me.
There you have it, the first session of On the Coach Couch. Lucas Jurey, in remission and still playing footy. Thanks for listening. Coach out.